Good evening, everyone, as chaos ensues behind the scenes there. Welcome to another episode of Campaign 2 of Malt and Magic. And welcome back to Malt and Magic, as last week we were playing Monster of the Week. And the epic finale to that series, which was amazing. And if you've not seen the most meta section of a TTRPG we have ever done, then please tune in for the last 10 or 15 minutes so of episode 4 of Monster of the Week. That being said, we're here to play D&D. So, last time, where we left our last session off, I should say, we saw our heroes delving deeper into the mysteries and dangers that surround them. After a brief consultation with Brom, Jewel and the party initially had prepared to confront a carrion crawler that was menacing Morse Tacey, only to then sort of learn that the local druids had kind of got the situation under control. So this allowed them to turn their focus to the abandoned keep of the elders of Morse Tacey and allowed them to search for any clue that might unravel the web of deceit that our party is entangled in. So within the walls of the keep, Lex tapped into his chronomantic powers to peer into the past, unveiling a pivotal moment where Leora Windwhisper confirmed her role as the third member of the sinister triumvirate. But his vision also revealed her escape and left behind a trail of breadcrumbs, most notably a miniature orrery. So in a moment of daring, if that's what you want to call it, folly perhaps, Lex invoked a blend of chronomancy and wild magic, attempting to draw said orrery into the present, and that spell's backlash was catastrophic, ravaging Lex to the brink of death, only for the capricious nature of wild magic to yank him back from the abyss, leaving the party very much in shock. The repercussions of this ordeal were very much immediate. A strained discussion with Brom exposed the fraying bonds within this particular group. And they now hurtle towards the Crystalline Isle, and as they hurtle towards the Crystalline Isle, the unity of the Planar Detective Agency now teeters on a knife edge. So will they find a way to mend their rifts, or will the external pressures and internal conflicts finally tear them apart? Tonight's episode is no doubt going to be steeped in themes of suspense, a lot of intense emotions. I expect there may be some elements of fantasy horror, magical stuff going on, and of course, as always, there will be a lot of adult language and a lot of adult humour as well. You have been warned. Let's roll.
Absolutely magic.
Episode 76, everyone.
That's staying in. That's staying in for sure. So, everyone on the
Brilliant.
podcast, we just had a pop-up,
Brilliant.
just cover over episode there, so that went well.
I'm not sure how we start following that.
Very
We've
seriously,
literally
come
just
on,
cut
guys.
to all of us. Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome,
Yes,
Internet.
folks will notice that we are a man short tonight. So Tom was desperately trying to make it tonight to join us, but unfortunately cannot be with us. So there we go. We are going to go to our 4 view. And with that, let's run down tonight's lineup. So I am Matt. I'm your Dungeon Master for this, and most evenings I will be playing the sidekick characters of Takami and Callum and anybody else these fuckers decide to integrate with. Integrate? Whatever. Yeah, that's me.
Hello, I am
Nailed
Dave.
it.
I am playing Jewel of Shadows, the female tabaxi rogue who is quite emotionally charged at the moment and wondering what her place is in this group.
Hello, I'm Danny, and I'm playing Lex Ordo, who's just lucky to still have a place on this earth, because I am absolutely fucked, as you can tell by my hit points. But it's because I was an absolute hero last time. So
Modest
you're welcome.
as well. That's one thing we can say about Lex and Danny.
Tell by your hit points and your ability to get a sentence out.
Yeah. Well, I'm just channeling Lex. I'm also on 1 hit point.
What's up? I'm Bodhi, the son half of Homie and the Dude, and I'm playing Edgiest Bones Jones, and that whole time I was trying to think of something clever to say and there just nothing came, so that's me.
I will therefore interject and say, from anyone who's watched last episode and anyone who watches this episode, we do love each other and we are very much
In
friends.
real life.
Yeah. So that we're setting that aside for tonight. Maybe.
Speak for yourself. I fucking hate you.
Wanker.
It's only because we spell your characters' names wrong and you get sassy about it.
Again, we went so meta last week that we even called that out. It was brilliant. I can't even clip it because it was like a full 10-minute. It needs to be a full short video. Something.
Yeah.
Very good. So, yes, we begin tonight then. Back on board the Ebon Mirth, having sort of left Morse Tacey, and we are rapidly barreling towards the Crystalline Isle. Edgius and Cavern, I imagine, have gone down in underneath the deck. I don't know, Edgius, you tell me, where are you and Cavern going? I mean, sort of sticking together at this moment.
I think I would probably, I believe Takami came and grabbed me from Jewel. So I would likely go with Takami and probably just like, I think Edgius would probably just go and, trying to think, I feel like he would go cry. I feel like there would be just a moment where he needs some time alone to just have a moment. So give Takami a kiss on the forehead, go into whatever the downstairs bathroom porta potty cubicle is, probably sit down and just head in hands and just sob to himself a little bit.
Very good. So you go and release your emotions alone. Takami then
on the
sort
toilet.
of on the toilet. Yeah, we've all been there, mate. We've all been there.
I do my best bit.
Takami actually goes back up to the top deck, the main deck, if you like, and situates herself on the edge, on the railing itself, and just balances herself there, crosses her legs, and meditates. And just takes some deep, shuddering breaths as she begins that meditation. And releases her own tension and emotions that have built up. Cavern doesn't storm off, but walks off with those final words that were said, just takes himself off below deck, brooding in the way that only Cavern can brood. And just takes himself down to your quarters and stays there. Jewel, where are you going?
Jewel's going to stay where Edgius and Jewel had that conversation, so on the front right of the ship, looking out, and she purposefully looks back out away from the ship, because looking out and away over the ship means she can't see the ship they're on and anyone who's on it. I would imagine though that she's probably also looking in the general direction of home at that point, and is just like this. Well, that's what she's doing. Anyway, she's crying silently.
Lex, as you sort of stumble around, weakened and very much still just teetering on the edge between life and death, time having ravaged your body, having aged as well as a result.
Don't worry, guys. I'll see myself to bed as I fucking like half crawl, half on my hands and knees, just go to my quarters. Because
say Vala probably does run up and like loops her arm or your arm around her shoulder and lifts you up. Oh dear, it's looks like you all need some time.
Yeah, thank you.
And try not to cough on the shoes. She takes you down. Cavan then, seeing you sort of enter, makes sure you're... He looks at you, and there's a moment where he pauses as you rest on the bed. And then he'll sort of look at Vala, give her a subtle nod, and leaves. Goes find somewhere else to be alone. So,
I pass out.
alone, separated. Lex, you pass out. You not doing anything before that, just straight out, yeah?
Well, I've got a level of exhaustion. I desperately want to figure out this Orrery, but I've got disadvantage on stuff because I'm fucked, because I just died. And I've got a level of exhaustion, so there's no point even me attempting to do anything remotely productive. So I'm just going to wallow in self-pity until I fall asleep. As Cog is kind of like doing body scans, assessing the damage, and like looking at the Orrery, looking at me, tutting. And then
Vala does come back in at some point with a potion of healing and just sort of lifts you up and pours it down your throat while you are passed out, so to speak. And that will be a standard potion of healing, which I will allow you to roll for. And I like
that's what you'll hear
you're
as I'm
drinking
asleep,
a red
as I'm
drink
gurgling
right
the
now.
potion.
That's brilliant. Gargling the what?
Balls.
Yep.
Fuck's sake.
Thank you.
Mate, you line them up, I'll knock them down.
Absolutely.
The balls.
Indeed.
That is.
Excellent stuff. Cool.
Do you know what, Matt?
So, as I quickly go on.
Do you know what I'd like to do? I think I would eventually, like, after I know that Lex is asleep and I can hear Cogs whirring done, I would probably leave the bathroom cubicle that I feel like is in the same tiny little bit of room that we all like share in this ship. And I will like sneak past Lex and I notice that like his arm is kind of like hung out of the bed, so I like lift his arm up and like pull the blanket over and tuck like Lex in a little bit. Then I'm gonna go up the stairs, and I would imagine I would see Jewel probably somewhere on the deck somewhere, and I would probably just try and go the opposite direction to wherever they are. I would like to then kind of climb. Does this thing have sails or a balloon, Matt?
It's got sails.
It's got sails, okay. I would like to
you
climb...
will remember they are more for aesthetics purposes than actually functional.
That is... Oh, that makes me want to cut these sails so bad, Matt. Oh, God. Fuck's sake. Fucking sails. Okay, so Edges would just like to climb one of the masts to, like, one of the... Not the crow's nest, because I know that little fucker is in there, and that person's going to be annoying. So I'm going to go... Edges would like to go to the other, like, mast, basically, and climb that. When I get to the top, I would like to pull out... I would like to unsheath my Defender Wakizashi, and I would also like to hold a moon petal in the other hand.
Very good.
I would then like to put the moon petal onto the hilt of the blade, and I would like to wrap it and my hand in some silk from my pocket and tie it tight, basically. I would then be like, okay, I've seen Cavan do this 100 times. I'm going to point the sword to the sky, and I'm going to not close my eyes, but seal my skull, as I would like to then just repeat over and over in my head the 3 words that I scratched into my skull: justice, love, skill. And I'm trying to just contact either the boatman or Nimue, basically. I'm trying to just like connect with my upper beings, basically, after, this whole accusation of being righteous, and all the stuff that, we dealt with in that conversation. I want to try and talk to the things that have put me on this path, or so I believe.
Okay. Make me a charisma-based religion check, please. So if you've got proficiency in religion, add your proficiency bonus, but otherwise roll a d20 plus your charisma bonus.
Plus my charisma. So that's 14. 18.
18. Now roll me a d100, please.
A d100? Okay, dokie. That is a 19.
19. You do this and you sort of say that little mantra in your head. And still being... In fact, are you still wounded? I think you are, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, I'm 29 hit points. No, 25 hit points, sorry.
So we've still not really healed from the fight with the two elders. And you tap into that subconsciously. In fact, there was a moment during that fight where you did drop and came back using your sorcerer abilities, I think it is. I can't remember. Yeah,
Shaky Graves or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Can't remember what it is, but that particular feature. And as you do so...
Strength of the Grove.
Shaky Graves sounds like a pop punk band from the early 2000s.
That's the next bardic troupe we're finding.
Yep.
Where are you?
I'm over here!
I will say then, as you tap into that, icy cold begins to seep through your bones. And for anybody that may look up to that mast, they notice that your body encases itself in ice, which then begins to creep down the mast slowly and surely. And you begin to hear the sound of a river. And as you open your eyes again, you're in this weird grayscale landscape of a pool of water around you. And that's when you hear it, just that and the sound of oars. As you turn and see a boat, and there is a moment where your eyes, you think, play tricks on you, where the boat is the size of a cruise liner and the person sitting inside it towering like a skyscraper. It's almost like you blink or close your eye holes and open them again, and then you see the ferryman in a small fishing boat, similar size to you. And they hold a skeletal hand out to you.
You know what? I'm good right here. Do you need to take me somewhere? Or can we just talk?
Holds a skeletal hand out to you.
I will dap him up. I will grab on, give him a little one of these, fist bump.
You go to release the hand, and the grip is strong.
Where are you working out? I could really use some of that bone density on my end too. You
Pulls you onto the boat, props you up, sits you down in the boat, and then takes that oar and.
Dark, your pale darkness, Charon. it is me, Edgius Bones Jones, your humble servant, attached to the Black Raven Lady, Queen, Raven Queen. I just had some questions. I'm not sure if you could clear some things up for me.
He does a final, or they do a final pull of the oar, and the boat begins to just take off. And it's almost like you've gone through this precinct, and now you see a waterfall in front of you. And as you approach the waterfall, the boat just turns and rides the edge of this perpetual waterfall. He takes the oar, places it over his lap as he sits, and then those skeletal hands go in the dark sleeves, and he sits and waits.
Do you know what's funny about this, Charon? You remind me of this other old guy. He's not as old as you. I mean, you lost all the skin and stuff, but this other old guy also has long sleeves and puts his hands in his sleeves and sits silently across from me. It seems to be a trend. I'll fire away. Why did you keep me here? I've come close to the edge multiple times. I've seen this waterfall and this landscape, and I just... What do you foresee that I'm gonna do? What purpose do I serve to the material plane? Because obviously I don't serve one here for the time being.
One of his hands comes out and a bony finger extends towards you and just then connects with your skull. In that moment, everything goes black. You see a pinprick of light, a blue orb of sorts, and it grows bigger and bigger as you almost get closer and closer. And as it grows to about the size of a watermelon in front of you, you then see two purple dots on it, connected by a strong purple line. Other orbs begin to come into vision around you, some red, some black, orange, white, all different colours. Probably about 23 different orbs in total. 23, 24 different orbs.
Is Bone Man with me still, or is he gone?
No, you don't even see your own body. You just see this series of orbs, and on this central blue orb, as these others seem to rotate round, there's sort of 16 around the very edge, and then 4 that are dotted just around this blue orb. Not really orbs, but these almost like semicircular, or looks like Play-Doh when you've taken it, stretched down, bent it up and below. One rainbow, one black. And all around it there is this essence of sorts, just this cosmic dust effect that litters between it all.
Okay. Edgius will look, and you said that there's a connection between the two purple spheres, right?
There is the blue sphere.
Yeah.
And on the blue sphere in the center there are 2 purple dots, which are connected by this almost looks
wiggly
like purple electricity almost.
Okay. So what I'm inferring above the table, Matt, is that I'm being shown a representation of the planes. I'm being shown the planar constellations. I think in game, Edgius would have maybe seen or knows like number of planes. Like, you know, I've spent enough time with Lex at this point. I feel like he would have.
You've also all seen the diagram of the great wheel that Jewel has.
Okay. I'll be like, I guess I'll say out loud. I'll go, okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah, the material plane. That's where I am. What am I doing on it? What's the point? Why wouldn't you let me serve my judgment in the hells, or face one of the ethereal planes?
You'll now see that weaving its way throughout all of these different places is a river. Grey. And it flows between, and you see from those two purple dots a very faint line that goes to the very top where this river almost has its source. What you notice along this river is there are 9 segments of the river itself, each looking different. And at the very top there is almost either this source or an end, either way. And there are these very faint lines from both of those purple dots to there. All of those lines then disappear and the purple dots disappear. Focus shifts to that ovoid shape underneath the blue orb, the dark, the black one. And there is this fiery purple point that seems to burn. And you notice that there are thin points to every single orb, but also one that seems to shoot far out into nothing.
Fuck, I wish Lex had been here with me for this. I portals, beginning, end. Look, I know you're a mythical being, but help me, please. My friends are hurting. This is hurting people. The decisions that we're making because of the things that are being put into place that are happening are hurting people. And I don't want to hurt my friends.
At this point, the orbs wink out of existence and light comes back to you. You now find yourself in a totally different part of this river. Around you is just a grand sense of immensity. None of this mist that seemed to exist in any of the other precincts you've been in. You see that the boat is gone and both you and Charon stand in this warm, ankle-deep water. There is light coming from above.
I mean, I look, Bone Guy, I'm gonna pass you my interpretation of this. You tell me what you think. All those dots are portals, things to go from place to place. You're telling me that the ones that matter to me are the ones that go back to the start? They go back to where it all began? Those two? But then there's the one in the Shadowfell, that fire burning, that seems to be spreading like a plague across the sea. What I'm assuming is the astral sea. What's your thoughts on that? Did I nail that? I really felt like I interpreted it that great, but I really think Lex would have been disappointed in me.
At this point, in one of those rare occasions, you hear Sharon speak. You are almost there, Edgius. Look. And he points back up the river and asks you to look. And as you look back, you see a purple thread extending from you that seems to extend back. And Sharon opens his hand, and it's almost like you now see the 9 different precincts of the river and a warm golden glow at the end, which represents life. And this purple strand all the way through. Make me either an Arcana check or an Investigation check.
Golly. Wow. Oh, it's a 24. Thank God for
24
expertise.
with...
with investigation, sorry.
With investigation. You notice that this thread crackles and doesn't look natural. When Jewel has talked about her tether when she's been in the astral plane, it's this pure silver cord. This looks arcane. Unnatural is the word I will use.
Look, I'm guessing that other purple dot is a friend of mine. Someone who has seen someone similar to you, who has had similar experiences to me in terms of with death. I just don't know what to do. I'm like, are the decisions I make worth it? And also, and I'll grab the tether. I'll try and like grab it and like wiggle it like a jump rope a little bit. I'm like, what's this? It doesn't feel right. And that purple flame.
It is not right. This is not the first time you have been here. And holds his arms out. This is the 9th. The final. Where those who die move on. You are tethered.
You mean that I'm close?
You were meant to die, but did not.
And it was you or the Raven Queen that stopped it, right? This 9th time.
No. The 9th is the 9th gate. Death consists of 9 gates. Much like the hells who replicate this place. To this point, with that investigation check, you look around you and you can see people floating, their heads up, and as they look up, there's a moment where their bodies turn into white light and rise.
My wife came through here, didn't she?
And your son.
Which way to the gate? Boatman, speak. Which way to the gate? Well,
Just looks up.
if this is unnatural, then then I'm ready to be done with this. I'm ready to leave. As I said, the actions that I'm doing are causing pain, and I'm confused always. I don't know what's right. And I will start trying to fucking shimmy this tether off. I suppose I'll try and leap towards the gate.
So you try and leap upwards.
Yeah.
What you notice is all of these people, beings, creatures, they all look up and all rise. You look up and jump. And jump. But you cannot rise.
You said I'm right here. You said that death is right there. That I was meant to go. Well, let me go, boatman. Help me. Fucking lift me. Look, give me a boost.
It is not me that keeps you here.
Then
You
what?
know what keeps you here. Who keeps you here. What keeps you here.
Ed just stops. His head dropping low in thought. He thinks the first thought that comes into his mind is saving the world. The next thought that comes into his mind is Takami. The next thought that comes into his mind is Lex, Jewel, and Callum. Finally, the name that he said a million times, the person he hates more than anything in this world, in any world. He looks up and the shadow menacing on his skull. Klein.
Lightning and thunder seems to crash in this sky. I will say you notice this swirl around this tether now. 5 different light cords, if you like, that stretch. There is another anchor should you wish. But regardless, he holds you in the same way that you hold him.
I see. So, Jewel was right. I'm here because of an accident. A revenge-filled accident.
I could talk about life and the sheer fact of every being. The chances of that being existing. Billions to 1. Accident or not, you are here. Billions to 1.
And only one connection to him. It's always been the one, hasn't it?
For you. Now, yes. But it does not have to be.
If I am to be tethered again and keep swimming in this section before the 9th gate, I hope the next time we see each other will be because I'm tethered to those that I love. Not those that I hate. honestly, dude, I'm 100% sure that this wasn't gonna work. And you have 1000% rocked my mind. I super
It was time.
appreciate you.
Say, as you think about those people that you love, whether you say it out loud or not, again, there's just that.
Okay, I know what I've got to do. Can, I don't know, you like, shred me like a really sick bone guitar solo to, like, give me a blessing on my journey of saving the world with my friends? That'd be super dope if you could.
When you need it most, she and I will be there.
Thanks. Final question. As I cut the tether, when, if I cut the tether, how long will I have before I need to find another?
Makes you think you have not already found it.
Thanks. You're pretty dope.
My thank you to you, Edgius Jones. And as you look around now, you realise you're no longer in that 9th precinct, you're back. And you feel warmth again, but it's not from the water around you. That is icy cold, but you feel warmth from this golden glow that you stand next to.
I assume that's home. Back with the guys. Yo, I mean, you've really helped today, and though you raised more questions about whether I'm righteous or not, I think you answered some very other big questions. If you ever, want to get away from all this place, take a little vacation, I'd be happy to have you over in the material plane. You seem like a pretty sound bloke. I think my friends would get along with you. And Edges will extend a fist and be like, I guess I'll catch you next time.
And he raises his fist and sort of gives you that fist bump, which is weird for a being such as Sharon. But at that moment, as your fists connect, again, there is this... And you see in the distance what looks like a storm. And Sharon's head just slowly turns towards it and just stares.
Something you're worried about?
Something we are all worried about. A gathering storm. Proverbially. And in reality.
You know what, dude? I know if I had skin, I would have totally just got goosebumps. Sick delivery. I'm gonna go back this way, and I promise you that storm won't bother you anymore when I get back here. Okay?
Do not make promises to the gods, boy. We will hold you to them.
It's alright, I've made mistakes before. The mistakes are what make me who I am.
Indeed.
Well, peace, big man. I'll catch you on the flip. And Edges will back into the gold orb.
And as you back, he pushes you as well, and there's that moment where you hear ice crack, and it's almost like intense heat, but you actually realise you've just been in the icy cold of death, and you now feel the warmth of life and reality and the material plane around you.
It just collapses, like holding onto the side of the mast, and pulls himself up. I think what Aegeus came away from all of this realizing is a couple of different things. First of all, that Jewel was right, but Jewel was wrong. She was right in of that we are not righteous in what we do. But she was wrong. Only one person can end the tyranny of what's happening. And Aegeus now knows that. 2, he now knows that this storm is spreading from the Shadowfell, and that there are portals to many different planes, almost all of them, which is a bad sign. The storm growing concerns him, but felt more metaphorical than literal, so he's feeling okay about that one. But the one he desperately needs to tell Lex is about that tether that goes off into nowhere. What could be hidden in the depths of the astral plane, the astral sea, that Klein would have something that he wants there? And with all of that, Aegeus will look out into the skies as a bit of rain kind of hits his skeleton. And he knows what he has to do when the time is right. But he also doesn't feel like the team needs to know that until the time is right.
Okay.
And that's Aegeus chilling.
These
See,
ice
bitch.
crystals just slowly begin to melt.
Okay, I'm out. I'll catch you guys later. Good talk.
Bodhi's done his bit. He's fucking off for the next hour. Very good. Lex is passed out then. Jewel, what you notice is that the Ebon Mirth seems to come to rest and hover probably about an hour away from Morse Tacey. And Captain Lightswift sort of wanders over to you. Figured you could all use a break, so we're just gonna chill here for a bit. And you okay, Jewel?
She
That looked a bit
wiped away tears and
holds out a handkerchief awkwardly, like, here.
Thank you. I'm so sorry to have brought this onto your ship.
We're here at your behest, so don't worry about that. I'm more like, you've all got a job to do. Are you going to be able to do it, or do we need to haul ass back somewhere?
No. Of course we're going to be able to sort it. Any passive insight from him will have known that she doesn't believe that. Tensions have just got high. We have got a lot on our plate. So, that is all. It's all getting very real. Very real indeed.
Yeah, I kind of figured that when two things attacked my crew and me on here, and
That
not for the first time, but that was intense.
Yeah, that seems to be par for the course. Not quite as intense as that was, but we do seem to constantly be up against adversaries, and they are doing their very best to stop us. We must try to rise above our own and I don't know how we're going to do that. I'm sorry, I am burdening you with this. Thank you for giving us the time to recover before we move on.
Looks like you all need it, and well, no, it doesn't matter. Look,
No,
you're all really important, and you've got important work to do. So, I mean this in the nicest way, in the most polite, Jewel, but fucking get it together.
thank you. In case it isn't obvious, we do appreciate everything you're doing, and I want you to know that without you, we can't do what we need to do. I hope you understand
I'm
that we
expecting
appreciate
medals and like kids to be named after me once this is all done. Don't worry.
Oh, thank you, Romeo. Put a smile back on my face.
He hands you a glass filled with whiskey. There. Have some of that and just rest. I'm sure you'll all figure it out, but for now, look, I'll keep this here until you're all ready to head down to see the crazy blue wizards.
With my last memory of the place, we will definitely have to be in better moods and spirits to get into that place properly again. So yes, a rest stop here, and hopefully no one knows that we're here.
I kind of appreciate you all don't want to be together right now, so there's plenty of bed spaces dotted around wherever you just go lay your head down. Nobody's gonna bother you or care or whatever. You just do what you need. Figure it out in the morning.
Thank you.
My old man always said don't fall asleep in an argument, but I think the moment's passed.
I think so. I think it is more that we can get to sleep tonight. Fuck, I have not been a friend to Lex. Is he okay?
Vala escorted him down to your quarters. From what I can tell, he's just sleeping it off. That little machine that he's got, keeping a close eye on him and something. I don't know what it is, but something.
Thank you. Oh, I shall make it up to him,
Stop
I'm sure.
thanking me, Jewel. I'm being paid for this after all.
Well, then I shall bid you good night. I'm going to stay up here for a little longer, though.
It's okay. Crodmar's up top if you need a friendly face.
I'm not really in the particularly chatty mood right now.
That's okay. You do you. I'll be at the helm.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for the drink.
And he holds up his own full glass. You're welcome.
She goes to... yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I don't know whether I would probably glance up to see an icicle at the top.
I'm going to get you to make me a perception check with disadvantage. Usually your senses are on point, but there's a lot going on right now to the point where... I don't know.
17.
17. You notice that Edgius has climbed up. You probably hear the crack of ice as you and Romeo are speaking. Whether you choose to pay any attention to it, I will leave to Jewel, but you know something's gone on.
Possibly not. Was probably trying to intentionally look the other way, similar to what Edgius was doing. And she'll sit. Where will she sit? She doesn't want to sit looking inside the ship, so she'll probably sit sit back on the railing actually, and just look out, tail wrapped back behind her, but then like round one of the posts so that she's then just secure, set in, looking out with a drink.
From above,
Very good.
you will hear the strumming of a lute, as then Edgius will begin playing a what I can only assume is described as a Stonebarkian ballad that he heard during the funeral ceremonies, the lead up to the funeral just before he left. For Union City, for Unity City or Union City all that time ago. So, Union City, and he'll just start playing like what I imagine is almost like a lullaby or like local folk song or something that I'm imagining Gustavo Santaolalla, like Last of Us, like dum 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 dum.
Oh, I had Kansas dust in the wind a minute.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
I'm in love with all of those choices personally.
Yeah.
And we'll have that Dean moment. All we are dust in the wind. That's all I get. The stupid Kansas song. Anyway,
Jewel for the past, say, hour of travel has been thinking that not rational. Well, yeah, again, not particularly rational thought. These thoughts very much from emotion. So it's been, is this now the wrong path for her? She immediately starts thinking of home, thinking of her mum and dad, especially father figure right now, and then sort of angry that she's getting that Cavan was the way that he was, such friends with with her mum and dad, and yet is acting like this. And then of course goes through those emotions of, is it me, have I been the problem? When she starts listening and hearing to the music, it then sort of sends her back there again, back to sort of Stonebark and reminiscing on that one. She wishes that she could speak to her dad, just to talk this out. She's calmed down a bit, but she still now needs to just talk through the emotions she's feeling and knowing that she doesn't really want to speak to anyone else on the ship about it. So with that thought of wanting to speak to her dad, she does think of one other figure that she could speak to, and she sat down on the side, and she closes her eyes and says, "Watcher, are you there?"
Two sides of the same coin. Two sides of the same
I
coin.
need to go and decide what check that is going to be.
Matt did not expect to be playing two gods in the first hour of the show.
Fuck it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. For Jewel, give me a charisma-based religion check, please.
My charisma's a little, a little bit better. So I am proficient in that actually.
You're not proficient in religion, so that will be.
No, I'm not. Sorry, I was looking at
D20
persuasion.
plus-
So you're absolutely right. So it is just
That's
literally
fine.
just
D20 plus 3.
Yeah. So that is 15.
15. You sort of reach out and you call Watcher, and in your mind's eye there is a flash of two blue eyes. I am here.
Why did you pick me?
I didn't choose. as such. I saw. It was simply a matter of time. The right wheels and cogs turning to an inevitable point. Fate is hard to explain to mortals who do not see the endless tapestry. But it was not a choice. It was simply meant to be.
But this could have happened to anyone. Anyone could have been picked. And there are more.
You are not the first to pass through the astral sea. But you are one of the few who has been separated in such a way to allow what happened.
So it is coincidence that the actions of others have led me to have a connection with you.
Everything that
accident.
happens is a series of events leading to a number of possible outcomes. Certain things are fixed. Certain things are so rare that for them to happen requires a very unique set of circumstances. You are the result of a unique set of circumstances.
But that does not... We should still not have hubris over our position. We are simply part of the... And she thinks of Lex. Part of the equation. A cog turning.
There are those in the multiverse who see equations and numbers, points on a scale. I simply witness the tapestry, how it all comes together. I have seen time, its many threads as it moves forward, the singular thread that is left behind.
In these many options for the future, there are ones where I die, ones where I don't, ones where I'm not even me.
I cannot answer that question, Jewel. To tell you of the future is to erase that future. Do you understand?
Yes and no.
To put you on a path is to change the path.
What happens if... Yeah, like you said, you can't tell me. But I guess that if our path is to not make it, to die, then someone else's path takes on. We are not fated, but we have some control.
I once knew of a powerful oracle. A powerful woman who channeled my power. As she so eloquently put it, the problem is choice.
I am struggling with the choice right now. I do not feel that we have the right to be better than anyone, and yet it does feel like we have an awful lot on our shoulders.
You all bear a weight, a challenge, a burden.
Watcher, I don't know if I can hold that weight.
Then that in itself is a choice you must make.
But I don't want to leave my friends.
Sometimes, when we try to decide what to do, what we must realize is that we have already made the decision. Our responsibility is to understand the decision we have made. You've already made the choice, Jewel.
Then I shall find out why I made it.
Precisely. And it's at this point in your mind's eye you see that basically, when I say Watcher here, I very much think of What If Watcher, that spectral figure in the stars. But the head turns and he also becomes distracted by something.
Would say that was probably fairly triggering is not the wrong word. It would catch her eye because he's always just stared straight at Jewel, even when she's like been looking around this vast astral plane pocket they end up in when they talk. She's been like grabbing hold of bits of rubble and hocking them, just getting, in that like frustrating way. She then looks in the direction that they look.
As you look, where Edgius saw a storm, you see a void. A tear in the astral sea itself that is darkness. But at the centre of that darkness there is a subtle violet light.
What is it?
Some refer to it as the coming storm. It is what will happen should events on your world go in the wrong direction.
Oh, now I know why I made the choice.
We all have work to do, Jewel. But I promise you, when you need it, my help will be there.
Thank you. Jewel will open her eyes back on the ship and look out over the sunset. Question mark.
It's that moment you hear just the distant thunder flash in the sky in the distance over the ocean.
She will hear the music from Edgius again and will she'll turn around and look up to where the music's coming from. I would say that she does try to get a bit of eye contact with Edgius. And just nods. There's no smile. There's nothing else but an acknowledgement that you're there.
And Edgius will look down, see Jewel, nod, and go back to playing the guitar.
And hopefully that was less than a minute.
Yeah, we'll look, and I think actually she just continue to sit on the side of the ship for another hour or so, thinking about it all. But he's in slightly better spirits, but knows that things are all a little shaky. You know, haven't really talked to Edgius. It's just at least they've finally been able to acknowledge each other's presence again. There's still stuff
There
to
is still
wonder about.
that.
And
Still that sense
still that
of
chat with Cavern, like that's still very not settled.
There's still things that are left unsaid in that moment as you sort of connect with each other. And I will
Tell you what she does do then is after a few minutes we'll then get out her parchment and start drawing what she saw. You know, it's like got the massive Witcher on, you know, Watcher.
The Witcher. Love it.
The
The guy with two swords and fucking long silver hair.
She just draws a nude Watcher and then Witcher, and then goes to the Watcher. No, so draws that dark whatever she
Always
saw.
more a Yennefer fan, but
and will draws what she sees.
Hilarious, Dave. You say that because if the rain stops at any point, Edgius was going to draw that final image he saw of the Shadowfell, all the tethers going to the other orbs, that one going off there, one going to the beginning, all that kind of stuff, and just get a depiction of that to show Lex when he gets a chance.
Then maybe you see from your vantage point, Jewel get out her parchment. She's actually huddled over while it's raining a bit, but she's got her hood and everything, and you see her drawing, but then when it stops raining, you could then.
Yeah, Edgius will draw as well. I just have to say above table, so sick, bro. So fucking sick. I am so hyped right now. Holy shit. Sorry. Let's back to... Sorry. Just had to let that out. I'm just fucking sorry.
I really want to see what this lot is.
very good. I will say then, as time passes, eventually all of you fall into a restless slumber, and you do get a long rest.
Jewel will sleep outside on the deck, huddled up under a cloak, away from the wind. She's done that before. She's been out in the forest, so yeah.
So everybody gets a long rest, and I'll say as you...
Fuck that.
Danny is there, passed out. Well, Lex is there, passed out, just struggling with... Well, in fact, it does ravage Lex's body as well. The exhaustion is purely that. It's not even sleep. It is your body shuts down while keeping the most basic functions going to keep you alive and allow your body to heal and deal with that ravage of
Cock
time.
turns into an iron lung for the night.
Yeah. Just constantly like restarts the heart.
Yeah.
As you wake then, Jewel, if you're up on deck, you wake and it's not a light morning. There are thick, dark storm clouds that surround the ship You are moving again, but at a slower pace. Valor wanders over to you. We're getting some strange things happening with the Mana Stones as we get closer to the island. We've not been travelling long, but not too sure how this is going to go.
I mean, if it is going to cause the ship any issues, then do we need to get off and make our own way?
Not sure where you're going to get off, though, Jewel. That's the problem, like.
No. Okay. Do you want us to, I don't know, meet you and the captain and discuss what we're going to do? I mean, I
think you've got other things to deal with first, but, sure. We'll keep on our current course, and,
okay,
yeah,
just
when
don't
you're
crash the
sorted,
ship.
We'll, yeah, I'll remind Romeo about that. But
Oh,
sure.
and watch out for the dragon. I'm sure we have told you about that.
I'm not sure I was there for that conversation. What fucking dragon?
A really obnoxious and pompous dragon. They won't attack you, but they will make their presence known. Hopefully.
Fantastic. Yeah. Go on, go do what you've got to do. We'll sort this.
Okay. Jewel will head down to the room that they've been using, which presumably will have... Oh, actually, I don't know. It will have Lex in it. Who else
Got
does it
Lex
have
in it?
It won't have Lex in it.
Why? Where's
won't.
Lex going?
He's gone off somewhere to do something in private.
Ah!
He's not having a wank
Very good.
or anything like that.
What a time for the
What a
Raiders to
time.
join.
Absolutely phenomenal
I
time.
say wank and 29 people turn up.
Absolutely brilliant. Hello, Raiders. welcome.
time.
Welcome again, Roll Together. You join always in the perfect moment. So, love you all. Thank you very much. Very good then.
Either of the other ones in there?
I would probably say Edgius would have actually probably got up and made a cup of tea made some matcha tea for Imani. Not Imani, what the fuck? Takami would be my guess.
Did you just get her name wrong? Did you say that out loud?
I actually not to her, to Bodhi. But I would definitely make her a green, very green matcha tea the way she likes it, and would have been up like probably just trying to help around the ship as much as possible, like while being semi-avoidant of Jewel, feeling uncomfortable.
And as Takami sips the tea, so you're gonna go speak to Jewel, right? Or do I have to drop kick you down the stairs?
Who?
Don't give me that shit. Go sort your problems out so we can go and deal with the Dodger thing. Don't let it...
Do you not think, like... I'm more one of those people that likes to give things space. Like, I feel like if you leave things for long enough, then, I usually like to talk about things, but, like, it's Jewel. Like, look. Takami, come here. Come here.
I'm here,
And he leans
dickhead.
across the
Just say
table.
what you-
Leans across the table to her. Listen. What? Jewel was right and wrong. So I don't know that. But how do I say that without making her more mad?
Be honest for once. I think you all need to stop hiding behind whatever the fuck you're hiding behind and just get it all out there.
That feels like that would open a lot of doors that we then just wouldn't be able to close, or like at least that this journey doesn't have the time for us to close the doors. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right, Edgius, I know you've lost a family once. Don't risk losing a second.
That's what I'm trying. God damn it, Takami. Fucking love you. And he will stand up and turn around and walk away from her. As he walks towards Callum, he's gonna kind of just nod at Callum, not say anything, because Callum kind of stood next to Jewel during everything the other day, and he will just kind of nod at Callum.
Callum stood there with his arms crossed, just sort of looking at you with a sideways glance.
I'll, as I walk past, I'll be like, "Found your trousers today, then."
And then what'll happen is somebody from the crew, just one of the dog's body monitors or something, will come and gather you and tell you Lex has summoned you to the wherever we would have breakfast. I don't know, the mess hall or the whatever.
The dining hall. Yeah.
Hello,
Yep,
Minotaur
dining hall.
NPC. I've never met you before. What's
Senfra.
your name?
My
Senfra.
name is Senfra. I am Senfra. No, my twin Tyragar. Senfra.
You guys are related? I thought they were a goat, but you look more like a bull. You know what? Never mind. I'm going to be Lex.
Tyragar, you look like goat.
Do you hear what your sibling's saying about you? I've got to go. And Edgius will make his way downstairs to wherever Lex is.
You can just see as you as you go down the stairs, Takami's just there going, "Oh God." Just rubbing her temples. Callum, however, walks behind you probably about 10 steps, just following to see what happens. Takami, seeing that, will sort of place the cup down and go, "Oh, fuck it, we're all in then."
Jewel will also head down. She does
Vala
have
does come and get you,
her hood up, because she does still want to speak to people, but still just not quite sure how. So
If you've got your hood up, I won't be able to see you. I won't know you're there.
Seriously, much easier for her to be like, yeah, she'll make her presence known when they're all around there, but it gives her that opportunity to gauge the room.
Cavan is the last to enter as Crodmar actually almost just sort of shoves him. "In you go, laddie," and sort of waves at you all and then closes the door.
Edgius will go to reach for the door, but finds it locked, and is like, "Okay, what are we doing here, Lex?"
I have something to say, and I'll start unfurling a big piece of paper. No questions. Let me say what I need to say before you say anything back. As I get casually back into his American accent. So he'll unfurl this massive piece of paper, and he'll read it verbatim from the piece of paper. Lex's open letter to the Planar Detective Agency to restore balance to the group. And you can see he looks visibly nervous and worried about how this is going to go. Who are we? And then he'll look at all of you. And you'll know it's rhetorical, so you don't need to answer. We are the Planar Detective Agency.
I imagine Lex says that, actually.
Definitely. This is rhetorical. Knowing Edgius, this is rhetorical. Shut the fuck up.
Edgius goes to speak. Yeah, he opens his mouth.
Takami, hand over the mouth.
We are the Planar Detective Agency. Does that make us work colleagues? Well, yes, technically, but we are more than that. We are friends, bonded like family, through shared trauma and lived experiences. We shouldn't be fighting each other, and I'm looking at all three of you, when we have so many enemies and battles to fight together, and so much to fight for. Jewel, I've lost you for a second. Where'd you go? Take that fucking hood off. God damn it. This is serious.
She takes the hood off. Sorry, Lex.
I'll recompose myself. You are like our little sister, and you represent the integrity of this group. Sometimes your integrity and our actions do not align, but you know we always come good in the end. And I'll look at the rest of the group. We all know where Jewel gets her integrity from. It's her mother and her father, and we love them and respect them, especially you, Cavan. So when Jewel calls us out for being out of line, let's listen to her as if it was advice from her own mother. Cavan, you are passionate and tenacious, and sometimes that comes across as anger and pig-headedness. But we must all remember that this anger and passion comes from a place of love, and Cavan's innate need to protect those around us. Cavan now has more to fight for than ever, with his rekindled love for Mara. That is her name, right?
Yep.
Good. Nailed it.
Again, I think Lex says that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cavan, yeah.
And the growing
that's
love
right,
he is
Lex,
beginning to
that's right.
have for his self again. So let us all remember this when Cavan has a gut feeling he is passionate about, or when we're all trying to talk him off the ledge. Aegeus, you may appear dead on the outside, but you are no longer dead on the inside. So do not let yourself return to those ways of thinking and living. I have seen your humanity grow more every day, as well as your heart, which you try to hide under all that bravado. But I see you, brother. I know you have lost so much in your past, but don't let that stop you gaining now and in the future. And I'll gesture at Takami. You have a second chance not only at redemption, but love and happiness. We are proud of you for how far you've come, and I believe your wife and child will be proud of you too. So keep on this path. Let us help you get there. Our fates are all intertwined, and we are tethered together in life, and probably death. Whether we like it or not, but I personally wouldn't want to be on this journey with anyone else. I know that deep down you all feel the same way. That concludes my TED Talk, and I'll sit down. I will now be taking questions.
And with that, we're going to go to break.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
Daddy's
Okay.
first monologue. Daddy's first monologue.
That was, well done, Daddy. That was amazing.
Well done, mate.
That's
And that's why I want to go to
seriously
break, because I want that to
Yes.
just settle in for a
that's
moment.
it.
Just
Let it fester.
let everybody. Yeah.
good. Lovely.
So,
See
yeah,
you
we
all in
will
a
be
minute.
back in a few minutes to pick that up.
Peace.
Heyo.
What's up?
Tom's not with us. See ya. There we go. Yes, welcome back to episode 76 of Campaign 2, where we left it on something of a, I don't want to even say somber note, something of a poignant note with our soliloquy from Lex Ordo there. So, the only thing I'm going to say is thank you once again to the Raiders. Hopefully you'll all stick with us. We've got some exciting stuff coming up. And with that, over to you guys. So as Lex finishes his story, his letter, you see Cavan just sort of shuffling his feet a little bit, scratching his head.
Do you want to go first, Jewel, or do you want me to rock, paper?
Jules been able to glance at Aegeus, but not look at Cavan until later on in Lex's speech. And Jewel will say, I owe both of you an apology. I am still mad and angry at the way that we handled that situation, but for my part I need to apologize to both of you. There is a lot that needs to be said, but Cavan, your heart is true. Aegeus, your troubles do not need to be just your own. And I am sorry that we have seen at cross purposes. And I know that we need to address these. I'm sure you are as angry at me. And I hope we can move past this, as Lex quite poignantly said.
Cavan, do you want me to? Oh, he's muted.
You're
He
muted.
doesn't know he's muted. We're all waiting so patiently.
Fucking wonderful, wonderful. That was a pure Teams moment there. It's because I was eating a chocolate. What a twat. And now I've got to get back into that mindset. Clip that. Cock. Ah. No, you go, man. You go. No, that wasn't it. So, no. Cavan's going to be there just sort of. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right, Lex. You're right, Jewel. Yeah, I'm angry. And that Brahm's a dickhead, but I need you. All of you. And we're family. So, He stands up and walks over to Jewel. Can I give you a hug?
I would never deny my big brother to give me a hug. And she kind of buries her head into his shoulder.
Sort of pulls you in and holds, and there's a very shaky breath from Cavan as well.
Edius pulls out a handkerchief, because Lex is stood next to him at this point, and just like gestures towards Lex.
You're so fucking beautiful.
Joel comes away from the hug and just goes, I want to make it clear, I disagree with you even now, Cavan. Rom is not an asshole. And
I said dickhead, but sure.
Dickhead, whatever.
Whatever.
And looks straight at Aegeus, we are not righteous, and we do not have a higher stance over anyone else. And if you believe that, fine. But we need to find a common ground at some point. I know it is important for us to all clear the air, but I think we have more important things to deal with at this very moment. So can we all agree to work with each other?
Aegis will take a step forward and pause before looking at Takami for purely out of insecurity for some sort of reassurance.
And she's just going to give you that look of like, well.
I'll say message in your head. Don't fuck it up.
The pressure mounts. Aegeus sweats somehow. His skull becomes porous. He will he'll take a second and just be like, so firstly, I agree with Cavan. Brom is ahead of Richard. However, I think that I think I think what we are misunderstanding is he acted like one and isn't always one. And I think that's the impasse we came to. I want to apologize to you, Jewel, because I put myself and my morality before the group, and that is not fair. We are a group, and our morality comes from every piece of this group, yourself included, of which you are usually the guiding light of, and I am your counterpoint at the other end of the seesaw of horse shittery that apparently I exist on. And I just want you to know that I love you. At times I feel like when we talk to one another that you are one of the few people that I know that sees me. At other times, I want nothing more than to put you into a deep, deep Darce choke and watch the light leave your eyes. But I think that's the nature of what it feels like to be family. And I think that's I think that's what it is to be family. And I feel like we're often the same, I don't know, the same but different would be the only way that I can put it. I have a final thing to say. I'm a little bit excited. Cavan, you're going to be proud. Jewel, you're probably going to be interested. Lex, you're going to be over the moon. I managed to speak to I don't know what we call them these days, but a person who is of a higher elevation on the plane's hierarchy than us.
Are you talking about a god?
If that's what you want to, I'm not sure. He looks like me, but kind of creepier, and he looked like he put on his clothes in a rush, like almost like he had been like swapping outfits really quickly beforehand or something. I'm not entirely sure, but I would just say this. I've been told a couple pieces of information, or at least have discerned such. Firstly, Jewel, you were right. Everything is here by happenstance. All of us fell into the positions that we are through a strange circumstance or series of events, one might say. But also, you're wrong. Because we are as 4, 5, 6 with Takami and 7 with Callum. We are 7 in a billion, 7 in a trillion, 7 in numbers I don't count up to. Lex, what's the next one after a trillion?
Decadillion? I don't fucking know.
My point being is, look, we have to do this the right way. Jewel is right. But we also have to break the rules and continue carving our own path through this, because we are the 7 that are on this path. No one else. No one else is aware enough, has all the information that we do. We have the biggest head start. So we are the ones in this situation. And finally, I found this, and I'll pull out my notebook with a drawing in the center of the half crescent underneath with some sort of flame there, then tethers going off to the different planes, along with one reaching off high into the astral sea.
Does this drawing match the multiversal diagrams that Lex has seen before? And like the planar diagrams and stuff?
It matches more the diagram that Jewel has of the Great Wheel cosmology. Fucking ask and ye shall receive.
Fucking hell, Dave. Pull that out, right? Although you covered my beautiful face.
It is quite literally like that, but all of these points are separated by orbs, and even air, water, earth and fire are separate orbs as well. The only two that are different are the Feywild and the Shadowfell, which take the forms of these sort of ovoid, bent sort of sections. And then you've got sort of this cosmic dust between it all, which you would sort of recognise as the astral plane.
But, and to be clear, what Edgius drew, if he drew what he saw, there was a line that shot off this map.
Yes.
Yeah. That's something very clear I want to make.
The other thing I
two
would say,
points that were connected would it, on that diagram then be the Shadowfell and the Feywild?
Yep.
Across the material plane bit.
The two ovoid bits, so that the lines that Edgius has drawn connect from what looks like where the Shadowfell is. Now, I imagine Jewel at this point probably pulled out her diagram.
Yeah. Pulls this out.
Lex, Danny, I think what you're talking about is the two purple dots, I believe. Is that what you were talking about? Yeah, I think that's me and Klein. I think that's me and Klein.
We're getting inside Dave's OneDriver.
I think it's me and Klein on the material plane.
Yeah, I've been fun,
I think
Dave.
it's actually us on the material plane.
Right, okay.
Setting character.
And then there's a fucking line going randomly off past astral plane.
Yeah.
Past outer planes.
I would not say that in character, Matt. But what you would see though is Aegeus, in every sense of the word, is trying to like clean slate this by bringing like the most honest version of himself to this conversation. I think would be the final thing there of like, you know, when he presents this, he's like looking at the group as if to be I'm just trying to give you everything I know, everything that I can, you know, to contribute to this and support the group.
I would say then that Jewel does give that in the way in which she engages in the conversation, that they're like she has, you know, verbally communicated, she also does now, that she's putting what happened to one side for now so that they can concentrate on talking about this map. And on seeing your drawing, we'll just pull out hers, but put it to one side because we're still talking about this map less than what she saw, and we'll just puts it on the table, you know, sort of next to it, but carries on talking about this. What are all these lines then?
Like tethers, they're like arcane connections between things. It can be, as far as I understand, between planes, people, and time.
So, if this is like the Shadowfell here, and it seems to be emanating and growing out from that, we already know that they are corrupting and drawing power from our plane. This would suggest that they're doing it to all the other planes as well.
Yeah, almost like something you just said just clicked. Like they're drawing power, almost like they're preparing for something, like a storm or like something big, like a weapon or something that they're gonna. I don't know, but why would they need energy and power?
They gotta have enough power to bring him back, right? That's the ultimate game.
Through convergence.
When I spoke to the Watcher last night, there was a storm in the astral plane. It looked like this. And do you think he's drawing? Drawing power, sucking power from each plane. We knew that they said they needed, or we surmised that they need power or something. Do we not? Is that not what the Frost Lord said? Now,
yeah.
What I don't understand, or what I think, Lex, you may have figured out. There is space between all of the planes, which is the astral plane, and there is then a space in between almost this world, this essence, and somewhere else, and that is where, potentially, this is where the Shrouded Lord is. We thought it was the astral plane because that's where gods go to die, but it was like almost the astral plane for the astral plane. If that's the best way of describing it, a place between almost the what would you call it, the worlds, the universe, our space in it. If they're having to draw the power from every single plane, it is so that they can bring him, like you said, bring him back.
What about, 30 years ago, they had that big event which brought whatever that kingdom was to the east back into existence. It affected us all in certain ways. Obviously, you were there, Edges. We all know what happened to you, so I'm not going to bring that up. But from what we've learned, that diminished the power of the deities, right? And we now live in a world full of magic. What about if they're trying to create a similar convergence Big Bang moment to bring back the power of the gods, but in this instance it's the Shrouded Lord? And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to reverse engineer what made him go away in the first place.
Of the very little I know of where that went, it didn't just jump to another plane, it disappeared from all of the planes. So is it not perhaps what happened to that place happened also was the way in which they trapped the Shrouded Lord? It is physically somewhere
Maybe
else.
that codex weapon that they used to get rid of him the first time. Maybe that put him outside of all of the planes.
And
that's why
and of time.
That tether goes off the map. Yeah, and that's why the tether goes out of the map, because he's literally out of space and time, trapped.
Okay. Something
like
else.
In
I love that tome. The Kang Dynasty, the Marvel tome. That's one of my favorites. My thought was something, as you guys have been talking, very, very similar. Something else that I know from this experience is that we can sever tethers. Tethers can be severed, but they can also be reconnected. I'm wondering if once we've dealt with the Crystalline Isle and we've also dealt with Rossendam, then possibly I don't know, maybe try and get to wherever and he points at this dot where this tether leads to. We try and get there and maybe cut the tether so it doesn't even matter that they're drawing the power. There's nowhere for it to go. As like a backup.
Yes, but just throwing it out there, if we can get to that place, they would just get to that place and bring him back? I don't know. But if they have placed themselves in the Shadowfell, then does that not mean they can't currently get to this other connection? And so that may well be the convergence of all of this power?
I think these are this codex weapon that we've never seen or heard of until recently. The Crystalline Isle might have something in their archives about it. If it's an old ancient weapon, they might have it documented, or they might know more about. We see that map you've just shown. We found it originally from the Crystalline Isle first time around, didn't we? So they might have more information and be able to tell us what that tether that goes off the map may even mean. And if you both have the power to speak to your deities and they have seen that tether, could they tell us how to follow it or sever it? Maybe.
There is still the possibility that we have to go to the astral plane to get closer to the space around spaces.
We can go to the astral plane whenever we want. We've got the necklace to create a portal.
I mean, a little bit of direction would be good, so I think we will eventually go there if it is the right place. But yes, there's a rock on the ship as they're going over the turbulent area, air.
Beat me to it. Actually, there's going to be a moment where the whole ship just lurches, and you see a flash from outside. And yeah, as this happens, Cavan's just like, whoa, if we're all gonna die, no, we can't die. None of us can die. We all need to survive this mess. 'Cause I need all you fuckers standing next to me as my family on my big day.
That's a valid point.
Jules stands up from the hunched over the table and is like, "Of course, Cavan. Of course, we'll be there."
As we kind of tumble, Edgius will kind of land again towards Jewel, and we'll be like, "Thanks."
Let's clear the air for now and move on. But when I say move on, I think we probably better go up and speak to the captain. I think it's starting to get quite difficult for them to get to the castle. Oh, bollocks!
Everybody make me dexterity saving throws, please.
Love it. That is not that. Dex saving throw.
16.
25.
Jesus.
It's a 6 for Lex and a 10 for Cavan.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
19
and Cavan
for
have
Callum.
advantage.
If Callum
Can
using
you
it.
roll for Takami as well, please, Edge? It's 3
Oh,
points
yes.
of damage to Lex and Cavern. Let me just hit the long rest button on Cavern sheet. And then 3 points of damage as you get bowled, or Cavern and Lex get bowled over the table that you were sort of next to, and like chairs hit you and stuff as the whole ship lurches to the side. I imagine Takami's fine, Edgius, or in fact you need a new catch sheet, don't you?
I'm just grabbing it as such. It is, oh yeah, well over like a 23 or something.
Yeah, you're all good. In fact, you have her new catch sheet. Yes, you're all good. So yes, very good then. Takami sort of jumps in that moment as the ship lurches to the side and the door just... You might want to buckle in, it's getting a little bit fucking bumpy. As the little dwarf Crodmar is there, Crodmar Runeseer. Let's go!
Up or down? Where do we buckle?
I'm going up!
Fine, following you.
Follow Jewel! And
Very
Edgius
good.
will dash after Jewel.
You all sprint and you're all sort of like running from side to side as the ship now is lurching. You see these flashes and just hear this. As you get onto the top deck, you can see Romeo is there, just muscle straining in his arm. At this point, you realise how ripped Romeo is as well, right? Like the biceps are properly straining. There's veins bulging in his forearms. Like this guy is seriously toned, and he is just gripping the wheel as far as he can. Callum's actually looking around for Valor, but like, where's the lady? Is she okay? Only to see Valor is there, just holding on to one of the arcane cannons, trying to hold it in place. You see Semfra Tyragar doing similar. And Dis is there, just next to one of these arcane gems, just like in the mast, walking up to it, just trying to put like what looks like a leather cover over it, as just these arcane arcs are scattering across. As you look,
Mana Stone.
your
What?
Mana Stone, no,
Yeah, is it? Okay.
because yours is specifically attuned to time.
Good.
Is there anyone that
All of the
needs
Mana
to be-
Stones on this ship. Go on, Edge.
Is there anyone that needs to be in place, like stuck in place? Like anyone who is like, we can't have them like flying around? If there was one person from Edgius's estimation that would need to be in one place, would it be Rome flying the ship?
It's a safe bet. You need your captain and your pilot to sail this fucking thing through the sky.
Okay, in that case then, I would like to essentially use one of my 2 ice spells, either Frostbite or I believe it's called something, Rhymes Binding Ice. And I would like to try and do no damage, but I would like to just bind Rome's feet to the ground with ice, so that if we're
You trying to
being flung
Spider-Man
around-
this shit?
Yeah, literally, yeah. But ice, just like Frozone from fucking The Incredibles.
Yeah, Frozone,
Just fucking
yeah.
throwing some ice on his feet. There you go. Boom. Yeah. That's
Romeo's just there like, thank you!
You're welcome!
As again,
Fuck!
arcane arcs just... As you look now, you can see below you as like the ship lurches and you all look to the side. You are above the Crystalline Isle now, and the storm around you, there is a blue to the clouds and then a purple, and these arcs just... You see that there is arcane energy connecting between the raw mana crystals on the ground and these crystals that are on the side of the ship. Fucking Dave, on point, as always. Just Romeo is there, just holding on like, we're gonna go in hard. Grab onto something. As the ship is just.
I mean, it's really hard to leave that innuendo there, Matt. It's taking 8 fibers of my being.
How many people grab hold of
you
Callum?
ask, you shall see. You do notice at this point that one of the arcane cannon that Valor is holding shifts, and Callum does at that moment. His body encases in ice. He just slides across and then catches it. and pushes it back into place.
If we're
Valor
going
nods
down,
at him.
does it feel like we're coming in off map?
You are coming down at a very fast rate of knots. Now, the ship is level, but you are descending. It's almost like there is a magnetic pull between the crystals on the ground that jut out of the Crystalline Isle, gives it its name, and these crystals on the side of the ship.
Would you say that it feels like we're going to be able to slow our descent as we get closer, or does it feel like we have very little control of that currently, like in the state that we currently are in?
At the minute, you do not seem to have much control over it.
Cool. I'm going to shout to Lex and be like, Lex! Fucking, let's be the thrusters! Down thrust! And Edgius will climb over the edge of the ship, pointing his feet downward, and I will just cast Firebolt repeatedly as a cantrip, trying to act as a thruster to slow our descent, basically, is my
Firebolt's like an ember, just to call this out from people, so it's fun.
In that case, I can fire some chromatic orbs if need be, or some thunder waves.
No, it's fine. Well, whatever you want to do.
I tell you what, then. Jewel will also then look up at the sails. Which have the sails? Have they been rolled up? Are they like just not in use at the moment, or are they down?
As I said earlier, the sails are purely for aesthetics purpose, and I think as you're looking at you, Romeo's going to stand there and goes, "What the fuck are you looking at them for? They don't work!"
Can they not help us slow us down?
No!
Never mind. You're doing great.
How
Thank
far are
you.
we off the floor?
Probably about 200, 150, 100 feet. You are coming in really hot at this point.
Because what I was planning
Final
on doing,
things. What are we doing?
I was going to try and create a wall of force, but it can't be. Needs to be a bit lower to the floor. I'm going to make it so it's like a ramp, so we can come in and just onto the ground. There's a bit of a landing thing, so we don't just smash.
Very good. Anybody else going to do anything as we come 90, 80, 70?
Matt, polymorph typically works on creatures. Any chance it would accidentally work on a...
It's not going to work on his ship. Absolutely fucking not.
In that case, I will tell. If I think we're gonna crash, I'll tell everyone to come within 10 feet of me now.
Okay. So you collect everybody together by Romeo, or you just get in the plane of detective agency?
No, yeah, by Romeo. I'll try and get everyone on the ship. If we're gonna crash, I'm getting everyone on the ship.
So at this point, seeing that, and I imagine you call it out, Callum's just going to grab Valor and sort of drags her away from the cannon as Tyragar and Semphra grab each other and begin to walk. Crodmar is already just hunkered down there in Dis. You notice Rend is just there, stood at this point, and he hugs Dis, lifts her up and turns her, and then lets her go as this arcane bolt shatters through him, and this hole is punched through Rend. And you watch as the construct just...
Where's Dis?
Dis gets thrown towards all of you.
Oh, amazing. Oh, awesome.
Jewel gets into sort of hunkers down into a position just as she was just before running up to the area where they're all collecting. She did look out where they're going to see an idea of where they're going to be going, because if she needs to misty step, she wants to at least have an idea of where to. And she hunkers down, getting ready, and will be near Callum and go, misty step to safety if you have to, and then just gets ready for whatever the fuck is going to happen.
Cool. At that point, Edgius will turn to Lex and be like, Dome of Force! Do your Force Dome! And then Edgius will cast Lamont's tiny hut around us, which is an orb within 10 feet, and I will encircle us in Lamont's tiny hut in hopes that it says no level 3 spells can penetrate it. So I'm hoping that counts for ground as we hit it. And I will just, this purple shadowy dome will come around us basically and encircle us. And I'll just be like, Lex, put your Force fucking dome up as well.
Are we just somewhere on the island? Can we see a massive castle, pillar, tower?
Oh, you can see the pillar. It's one of the tallest things on the island, and you're not far from it.
Okay.
But you are barreling towards the ground at this point, and I'll say at this point you can hear the as the air is just whipping past the ship at this point, and then there is that moment where you're probably around 30 feet above the ground. Lex, are you casting your force ramp?
Yep.
So as then there's this, and you watch as all of the mana crystals on the side of this ship just shattered. And the shards are literally pulled out onto the island, and the ship at that point angles forward, and it looks like you're going to just go bow first straight into the floor, and at that moment there's just this wall of force that forms, and it catches the ship, and without anything, Romeo at that point in this just fuck it, bang, hits something, and you see this chain just go as the anchor gets lowered, catches in the ground, and then the chain rips off the ship as you just continue barreling forward, and at this point the ship is crashing into mana crystals, just shattering them. You are
So
all
much
in this
wasted
Learman's
money.
tiny hut. Everybody hunkers down together. Finally the ship just and rocks, and there is a massive gouge in the island behind you, but you have come to a stop.
Like a glove.
Everybody is safe.
Like a glove. That's a niche reference of Ace Ventura for the younger viewers.
That is. Hi.
Yeah, I'll have
Oh,
to go
chitty
out.
chitty bang bang. Chitty chitty bang
Bang,
bang.
bang, we love you. Is everyone okay?
Any broken
Sound
We're
out.
all trapped in this tiny hut. I've got a Minotaur horn up my ass, probably, and all sorts.
I just will release Lemon's hut, and we'll kind of stumble away and be like, "Where's Takame?"
Next to you, asshole.
Oh, you were under the bull.
Literally next to your asshole.
Just Tyragar sort of stands up. You're okay, little woman.
Romeo, sorry about the ship, but at least there's plenty of stones around.
Romeo is there, and there's like his nose is bleeding a little bit, and he just sort of wipes it. Everybody alive?
I think so. Can we see any? Sorry, Jules going to look over at the tower. Is there any movement? Is there a massive dragon somewhere? Is anyone seeing any movement of notice that we have arrived?
I think they
With your
fucking noticed,
passive
Dave.
Perception check.
The point
You
is
don't
anyone
see
fucking
any
around?
movement. You don't
While
see any
Jules
movement,
looking round,
but you do hear
Ed-
the flapping of giant wings.
Edgius will
Go on,
move towards Rome and be like, "Yo, that was absolutely incredible," and we'll fist bump Rome and then be like, I once knew of a skyship pilot called I think it was Hans, and he had a bugbear, a co-pilot that he always ran with, and they not even they could have landed it as cleanly as you just did. Great work.
Nobody.
Don't think I'm going to be
fire.
making that run in 12 seconds anymore.
Nobody fire if they see a dragon. Just keep everybody stay cool.
I'm just trying to think of B-movie
that
versions of Hans Yolo and Sambuca to Chewbacca.
This point, this dragon does come streaking through the sky and lands next to you as the arcane storm begins to settle.
Lex, or Danny, can you remember the name of the dragon?
No. I'm going to call him Sir. I think.
Is he
So,
ancient, or is he just adult.
So, for anybody that sees this dragon for the first time, then you see a blue dragon land. Ooh. But what you notice that across the dragon's sort of torso and across the arms of the wings are these golden runes that shine. And the dragon sort of lands. By your estimations, Edgius, from what you know of dragons, this looks like it may be an adult dragon.
Is it older than the shadow one does it look more wrinkly than the shadow one we fought?
Probably around a similar age, actually.
Okay. I will be like, great, wise and old-ish one. These are my friends, Lex and Jewel. They have been here before. We
nice
seek
to see
your
you again.
aid.
If you remember, we were worthy last time, so can we skip the trials and tribulations?
You have done damage to the island.
We really didn't want to. We just couldn't
in our
control the
defense,
ship.
The Mana Stone did the damage. Yeah.
We're sorry. We've been apologizing for a lot of things recently. We'll add this to the list. We are very sorry. We did not mean to destroy your island, and we will pay to fix it.
What?
The wizards have gone silent. You will seek why.
I'm sorry. What? As in the Crystalline Tower? There's nobody there.
They are quiet. I cannot get in.
When did this happen?
Shit.
How long ago? How many days?
Days, 2, maybe 3.
When you say you cannot get in, how are we going to?
You are small. I am big.
Oh, yeah, no, fair.
Gotcha there. You savage.
Keen perception there, Joel.
Turn to Lex. I was thinking more magical, alright?
Jewel's mind is spiraling at this point.
I just will point at the pillar and be like, was that where they were?
That is where they live. You are all worthy of Zephyrath. I see into your souls. Go now, before the storm claims you.
Any chance you could give us a lift? There's only 5 of us need to come. The rest can stay here. And Eddie just turns back to Rome and shrugs. Is stay here, and then turns back.
Romeo at this point, his face has gone solemn, and you notice that Valorous just walked up and gone, oh no, and places a hand on his shoulders, and you see Dis just wander over to where Ren is fallen and turns, and the construct now lifeless, lightless, with this huge hole just blasted through it.
Let Joel
Dis's
turn
head
to.
just flops forward and tears.
We'll turn to Lex and Edgius. No, the storm is too dangerous here. They all need to come with us, and where possible, this is also possibly the best place to fix Dis. Not Dis. The construct. Rend.
That's a good shout. Maybe
Get your shit together, Gloom.
Maybe, great old one, you could take the crew upon your back and us within your maw.
At this point, the dragon just sort of sits back on its hind legs and brings the hands, if you like, forelegs together, and then it's almost like they click, and the runes, the golden runes, flash and flare, and all of you now appear just outside the azure pillar.
Oh god, that's spatial travel. It's too much.
Takami also goes.
Do you know what? I'm kind of used to it now.
Yeah.
As a seasoned time traveler. I'm pretty used to this sort of stuff.
Well, at least you didn't die this time, Lex.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I know, but I have got
God,
like a
this is
grey
so not
hair now,
attractive.
and I've got a weird pain in my back.
Where-
I feel like I need to get on all of a sudden.
Where are we? Are we like in front of the doors that we went in last time?
You are outside of the azure pillar as the storm you now see begins to abate and calm. Dis just holds Rend and doesn't look up. She's just cradling this massive construct in her arms. As you look towards the azure pillar, for Jewel and Lex, this is a somewhat familiar sight, but you see this gigantic tower rises high into the sky and forms then this slender spire of this polished white stone that tapers towards the top. And there's this pointed roof that looks like it's made of maybe blue tinted glass. Where you are now is in this circular courtyard of cobblestones that surrounds the tower. There's a small garden of magical herbs, rare flowers that grow around this courtyard as well. Previously, you have been welcomed by certain individuals of this tower, but it remains silent.
Jewel will go up to Zephyrath, if I remember correctly. That's what his name was.
Zephyrath, yes.
Zephyrath, I'm sure you will, but please stay close, and we will try and communicate with you as soon as we know more.
Very good.
Jewel, is it if we need to deal with this emergency, is it safe for them to come in? I don't want that. I don't want any more deaths to happen because of this ridiculousness. Should we just go in us lot, us five, and Takami, maybe Callum, stay here and try and aid them as much as possible?
You're saying that the storm is abating?
Fuck that, darling. I'm coming with you. The storm is very much abating at this point.
Aegis, I think you're right. This courtyard is somewhat protected. We knew that it had protection the last time we came through. So, everyone, Romeo, you will be safe here for now. And as soon as we find out what is happening in the tower, as long as we find it safe, we will give you the word and you can come in. There is shelter here, and we will be in touch soon. But we cannot guarantee the tower is safe just now. Dis, keep Ren safe. We will try and help.
Dis doesn't even look up. She's just sobbing into the metallic construct.
1 second. Does Cavan have Spare the Dying, Matt?
Oh, that's a good shout.
Because I think if he does, that would probably be something he would consider.
He's only got Greater Restoration.
No, he's got Greater Restoration. Fuck, I thought it was Spare the Dying. Son of a fuck.
Because I keep thinking, like, Lex has got Summon Construct, but he can't bastardize it in any way to summon his that construct back. That's not how that works.
So you would also know that Spare the Dying would only work on a being of life as such. The construct was exactly that. It is something that is made. It is artificial life, so to speak. It's not like Mace, who was a being made of metal and wood and leather, but very much has a soul of sorts. This was a creation that has been destroyed.
So, I know this is pushing the boundaries of what the spell is for, but if I was to try and use Summon Construct to bring the construct that is Ren back, would that work?
No, but there might be another spell in your arsenal that might at least start to help.
Mending?
Mending. Just cast the cantrip over and over and over again. Oh, now you've said that, I'm fucking looking for all my spells. Like, what is it?
Is there like a time stop or something on it? During this time, Jules going to go and try and go and check on the door.
Nice, good shout.
Do you mean aid?
Okay, Jewel, as you go up to the door, you remember now there are these 2 stone gargoyles that as you approach, their eyes flare with bluish light and they begin to move. And as they begin to move, this dragon's tail just whips over the top of your head and takes them both out.
Whoa! The tower's defenses will be on alert. You must take care.
That is also going to include inside then, yes?
Yes.
Any indication what we're going to go up against? Or is this just going to be a...
I was never allowed inside.
Fuck around and find out.
From here.
That is what we'll do then.
Indeed.
So if I was to cast aid on Edgius, Jewel, and Ren, would it bring Ren back? Because it gives him... Oh, so it's not that.
I think it's straight.
I'm going to cast aid on... It can't.
I'm going to say you're going to cast aid on who?
I'm going to cast aid on us anyway. All 3 of us, Edgius, Lex, I am Lex, Jewel. So that's 10 extra hit points and you're healed by 10 as well. Is it actually mending?
Would you like to try?
It's a cantrip. I will do it 400 times in a row if I need to.
So I will say you run over to where Rend is and begin to throw that mending energy in, and the material form of Rend begins to come together to the point where eventually you've sealed up the hole and the creation is intact. But the spark, whatever it is that gave Rend that cognitive ability, is not quite there. But Dis even does just look up at you. Thank you.
I've done all that I can do.
My first friend.
Well,
I think I can fix him.
And I'll, when you put your foreheads together, I'll do that with this. Be like, if anybody can do it, you do it.
Go do what you need to do. We've got other things we need to deal with.
Jules going to wait for the rest of the group to then come up to the door with her. Okay.
Jules, what's the plan?
Well, pretty sure if the wizards aren't here, and as the dragon just said, all of the defenses are going to be up. So we are not going to be welcome, and it is going to be interesting.
Ed just looks up at the tower and goes, so let me guess. Room we need to get to? Right at the top, right?
Actually, good point. Do we want to get to that one? We had to go down before, did we not?
We
need to search, though.
Top,
we need
right?
to search, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, again, look, okay. I'm assuming that the tower is going to defend against me simply running up the side of the outside, yes?
Well, part of me thinks, right, we know we wanted to look at the caves underneath. What if they have been attacked from those caves underneath? So actually, going in at the ground level here is probably the most dangerous level.
So do you want me to try and get up there?
What, start at the top and work our way down?
Well, I mean, I can try.
Jewel, earlier, the other day, just before we bumped heads, I accidentally tried to misty step as Callum had taught me, but I stumbled and did a different hand gesture. It ended up opening up a door that I could step through that took us straight to you guys. I can do it 500 feet. I'm not sure what you were thinking, but there's a chance I could maybe even just get you in there, and then maybe you could scout it out and let us know whether to come in or something like that.
I mean, not for nothing, and she's like, pulls her hand out and then just goes with her claws and goes, I can just climb the wall, and if it's safe, then you can bring. Can you? Is it just yourself? Is it one person? Who can you bring? Who can you do this with?
Well, I can bring one other person, but I could probably do it a couple of times, I think.
Okay, so do we just literally find out? I mean, Lex, I'm all for what you said. Start at the top and work down, so we can at the very least find out if it's. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get up there, by the way, guys. But shall we just try?
I mean, if it's booby-trapped or magically protected, you're not going to be able to just climb the walls or teleport in. They're going to stop
Yes.
that.
So we either try this door, or I try and climb, or you try and teleport.
Oh my god, I forgot we hadn't tried the door. Let's definitely try that first. Let's definitely try the door first.
Okay, no, it was just the edgiest. It was the. It was the fact that we don't. Fine. Okay, I'm gonna try it.
I think you're right. No, I think I know. Yeah, I know. We were thinking about other solutions and we forgot about the door. I think let's at least see if it's open. If it's open, then we can decide whether we want to go. If it's closed, then we know we don't have a decision and we're doing it your way, 100%.
But also, if they have attacked from the bottom, the people who will need protecting should immediately probably be through that door. So that should probably be where we go
At this
first.
point, Cavan goes, "You guys talk too much," and just shoves you out of the way and walks up to the door. And as he places his hands on the door, runes begin to appear. Or at least what you thought were runes.
Oh shit!
And a symbol begins to form. As Cavan's there like, can't put my hands off the door.
Cavan, let go of the door.
What?
I can't. Fuck! I can't let go. I can't let go.
And grab him by the waist and begin try pulling him.
And you're pulling, and you're pulling, and you're pulling. Cavan does not come off this door, but what you then notice gives you pause for a moment as the symbol that forms on the door is the logo for the Planar Detective Agency.
Whoa!
Come on! We are famous.
And as it completes, and Cavan's just there as his hands suddenly release. And he pulls, like, you pull him on top of you, Edgius, and he just lands on you, all 6 foot something of him on top of you. Thanks for your assist, Edge.
Got you, buddy. And I'll
He sort of gets up, helps you up.
Cool. So they knew we were coming.
That's probably a good thing, or a really, really fucking bad thing. Like, possibly a really bad thing.
Yes. Okay, let's go. Jill's gonna go move inside and help Cavan up.
Okay. So, I will say the 7 members of the... No, yeah, 6. What are we talking about? 6 members of the Planar Detective Agency step through, and as you step through into that first hallway, the first thing you see are figures. What kind of figures? Because they are encased in crystalline forms.
Oh, shit.
But this crystal is vibrant violet purple. It surrounds them all. And as the 6 of you step forward, there is yet again another circle that begins to form on the floor. I need everybody to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Absolutely marvellous.
So I haven't got my level of exhaustion anymore, but I did have the. But I've still got the disadvantage on spell attacks, and people have advantage against spell attacks on me for the next 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So would that count as them having advantage on me, this spell thing, and therefore I'd have a disadvantage on the save?
Yes, go for it.
Fuck, why did I ask the question?
You've taught me into it.
What was the save?
I love the honesty.
Say?
Yes. No, sorry, Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
I do have a soul trinket from the previous fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have advantage on my Constitution saving throw, so 19.
Another
19?
question. Because I have advantage on saving throws against spell effects, does that make it a normal roll for me?
Absolutely does.
Good, because I rolled a 20 with that.
Oh,
Nice.
For a 28.
Shit.
Come on.
Nice.
Okay, we
17
need Cavan,
for
Callum, and
Aegis.
Takami as well.
Oh shit,
17
yeah,
for
Cavan.
Aegis.
17 for Aegis.
God, dice.
Cavan got a 17.
Nice.
Ooh, sorry, Callum. 10. My bad.
10.
Takami got a 17 as well.
17, lots of 17s there. It almost feels like your world is turned upside down for a moment as you step in and then blink out of existence.
Oh,
And then you all blink back into existence in a familiar room for Jewel and Lex. Callum is catapulted across this room. Just hits one of these solid blue windows and bounces off. I really fucking hate you all.
Mind
He is
the
going to take damage.
step.
Callum is going to take 3 points of damage, which you should be able to do now, Dave.
I did. Yeah, look at
Oh
So
my
are we
god,
in the
another,
room at the
another
top now?
special travel. Another. Oh my
You
god,
are in a
so
room
much
at the
special
top
travel.
now, and you can see as you will now sort of take stock of your surroundings, you see Master Alaric's room, his study, his chambers. This whole top floor is Master Alaric's, and I don't know. In fact, have Jewel and Lex explained who Master Alaric is?
Yes, because there was the
Kind of.
weird note that came to us.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
When we were at our first office of the PDA.
Yeah,
So
so-
we did explain that they're weird, creepy, and that they kind of know and see us, and it's just ever so slightly unnerving.
So you see encased in this purple crystal Master Alaric, and his finger is outstretched to the point where it's just touching that gemstone that he has on his desk, that orb. And
The
it
one he
looks
used for
like
like
there's
divination
just
stuff, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
there is determination on his face as his finger is, you can see it's just placed there, and then this crystal is encased around him. And that crystal, as you approach, or as you get, now you're in the room, you can see that divination crystal just pulses with light.
Okay, couple of questions before definitely one of us presses that red button. That kind of crystal is different to the crystal outside the isle, or
Yes.
the same? It is different.
Very much so. Very much so.
Is it?
But it's not Wrathstrike
I was
purple.
gonna say, is it familiar? So it's not Wrathstrike.
Sorry, so the type of crystal that surrounds the figures, or are you on
Yeah.
about the divination crystal?
Yeah.
Oh no! What is encasing the individuals, the wizards?
It is a purple crystal that you have not seen before.
Right.
So I will allow Arcana checks or history checks just to see if anybody's got a clue of what this
So
might
it's
be.
definitely not the same purple shard that Edgius has then.
I will allow you with that question to make an Arcana check with advantage.
Nice. I'm going to go history with a 15 because my Arcana
15.
crap.
Best I could do is a 12.
Okay. Edge?
So we're definitely in the tippity top of the tower, right?
You're at the tippity top.
We're at the tippity top. Beautiful. Okay. I guess I would as these guys are like rushing towards the crystal and trying to work out what's going on there. I would probably go into detective mode, and I would try and look for signs of forced entry, signs of struggle, distress, anything that could lead us to clues of how these people got in, who they are, and information that I could gather that could then better prepare us as we move down this tower subsequently.
Make me an investigation check then, please, if you choose to do that rather than the crystal stuff.
Yes, definitely.
Lex,
Yeah.
this wasn't pulsing the last time we saw it.
But I suppose he didn't activate it last time he was here. It looks like he was trying to activate it, do something with it before he was frozen in time.
So
Maybe it's half trying to do whatever he set it off to do.
So do we touch it or leave it?
I'm worried if we touch the purple crystal that's covering it, we also get encased in purple crystal. And I'm assuming my check of a 12 was shit enough to not know that this is the same as Edge's shard.
Yep.
Okie dokie.
Nobody rolled high enough to uncover what this purple crystal may be.
Yeah, I
Purple
have
crystal
no idea what that
is just covering Master Alaric and not the orb?
Just covering, and what you notice is it's just covering the people.
Yeah.
And it was
Captured
covering the
all
people
the
it's not
majors.
covering the
downstairs
orb.
as well.
Yeah.
And it was
And
covering
the people downstairs. The same type of crystal.
Yeah. Matt, 28.
Oh, I thought
on
it was also covered in the
investigation.
purple. Sorry.
That's right. It's
No,
also...
so with a 28 on the investigation, you obviously spot this pulsing orb. You also now look around the room and you can see the marks, like scuff marks and blast marks. There has been an arcane battle of some sort in here. You see shattered purple crystal, and within that, as you then look and you pull a curtain aside, you see blood, and there is the remnants of a body. Jewel and Lex, make me a perception check, please.
Okay. Yeah. Something I
Dirty
want to
20.
use at some point. Perception check. 25.
25. And sorry, Lex, yours was?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Both of you would recognize the Eladrin body here, even broken as it is, as Elysian Crystal Weaver, the Warden of the Pillar, the War Mage that was the protector of Master Alaric and the Azure Pillar itself.
Yeah, I definitely remember him, Matt.
I kind of do remember.
He was the
him.
one who pretty much took you around the whole fucking tower
yeah.
last time you were here.
Yep.
Matt, with the 28, would I notice if anything is like missing? Does it look like any drawers have been opened, or there's any dust rings where something was and it's no longer, like anything like that vibe?
There's nothing missing. It's clear that people have rifled through or riffled through drawers and stuff, but from what you get the impression of, these drawers had clothes or just random magical bits in there. And with a 28 and given time constraints and everything, like, I will say that the Jewel and Lex have already told you about the Azure Pillar, and actually there's a grand library below this, subterranean library and subterranean laboratories, and the college of when I remember the name of the fucking faction, my god,
Circle of IU? No.
no, the Magisterium of the Crystalline Circle.
There we go.
So the college of the Magisterium exists more underneath than in this pillar. The pillar itself is mainly like quarters and domiciles and studies and stuff like that. The information and the artifacts are all below deck, so to speak.
So there's, cool. Okay, cool.
We're in his study or chambers, but not a lot else, basically.
You're in Master Alaric's chambers,
Yeah.
and it was quite clear that people have been in here, and there's been a battle.
Yeah.
Somebody has died here. There are crystal shards, these same purple crystal shards all over the place, and you can see Master Alaric is just there pointing. The only other thing with the 28 I will say you find is a staff next to this body of the Eladrin that seems to be intact.
Cool. I will grab the staff. And just above table. I was just trying to work out motive in my head. Was all that I was doing
Yeah.
there.
That's
Like,
cool.
why did they make their way all the way up here to kill this guy? If you know, anyway, yeah. Okay, I'll pick up the staff and I'll turn around and be like, who? Do you know these people, Lex and Jewel?
We'll look over at the body and go, yes. Yes, we knew them. I mean, I don't even know if... I mean, unfortunately he seems to have died. But I don't know if they're dead, if they're inside this crystal. They're solid.
I don't know. I mean, I've done some stupid shit in very recent past.
Recent, yes.
But I don't want to potentially do something again. But that crystal, it could have started something that saves everybody. It could be a message for us. It could be anything. But
Lex,
I want to touch it, but I don't want to touch it.
I'm with you. I think he was one for messages and divination. One can only hope it is a message to us in the last possible moments.
I mean, in my head, it's a vision of what happened.
Yes,
We see what he's seeing.
Yes. Can I?
I mean, I could do chronovoyant again, to be fair.
Oh, shite.
I've got the spell.
You can do it, that's fair.
Have fucking time ravage your body again. Yeah. Crack on.
I'd like to do...
run it.
I'd like to use Eye of Clarity for a moment. So that'll be another investigation or perception check for around the room. What I'm looking for is, again... are there actually any illusions in here now? Any hidden messages, disguised creatures? I'm also kind of trying to get that of... Does it smell like there's been a recent battle? We see the option of recent battle, but is this... Again, we know, we've just been told it's been a few days ago, but basically, is there anyone still here?
Okay. Roll that investigation check, I'm going to say, because that's active and not just looking around.
Can I give Dave the help action by activating a charge of my Gem of True Sight to aid Dave in searching for things like visual illusions, transformations, all that kind of shit? So just give Dave the help action.
Now, I think you already get advantage anyway.
I already get advantage, but yes, I think that's great anyway.
So, what I will say instead then, if you're going to use your Gem of True Sight, let me go have a quick look at that.
I wanted it to be a Dave thing. I was just trying to give him the little...
Okay, no,
that's fine.
All right, in which case, crack on then, Dave.
23.
23. With your Eye of Clarity, it almost like sharpens your senses as well, and you can smell the ozone in this room. Like, there has quite clearly been an arcane battle in
A hell of a fight, yeah.
A hell of a fight. You get the impression now as you look through, and you can see, it's almost like you see through this crystal, and you can see the determination on Master Alaric's face. Whatever he was doing with this orb in front of him was vitally important, to the point where he wasn't even protecting himself.
It cost him his advantage in the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There are no illusions around. Everything you see is as it was meant to be.
Lexi was determined to get to this thing. I think we have to try.
Okay.
Do you want me to do it? I'm not great with these things.
As Lex.
Well, that is a... Thank you for the false offer, but I know you really want me to do it.
Yeah,
and then I'll
totally.
Just put my hand on it.
I'm going to ask Jewel and Edgius to remove your headphones, please.
Oh, God.
Oh, shit.
Very good. Lex, as you place your hand on that crystal, magic swirls around you, and for a moment you are stood in this almost ethereal replication of Master Alaric's chamber. And you can see Master Alaric just sat at his desk, staring as he then looks up.
You have made it, finally. We are lost. We are fallen of sorts. I had to use my final moments to get information to you. You carry something. I don't know how you did it, but I saw it, I felt it. The information is on parchment underneath the orb. Use it. The conclave that you so suspected exists. You will need special magic to get in. It is on the same parchment. I have enchanted the parchment so that only your group can read it. I do not know what you face when you step beyond, but it is up to you now.
So just to confirm, he said the conclave is real and they were behind this attack. There is a note under the orb that I'm touching currently. It's enchanted and it will tell us where we need to go, or it will take us to where we need to go.
It will tell you where you need to go, and it will give you what you need to get to the next step. But it also, he explained that you have uncovered something. He felt it when you uncovered it, and there are details to that as well.
Awesome.
At that point, the vision shifts, and I will take a little bit of poetic license here and say you sort of lift the gemstone and pull that parchment out. As you pull that parchment out, text begins to form on front of it, and you see the title at the top says the Orrery of Ardahlia, and I'm about to send you something, which is the insight into what this item does. The Orrery that you uncovered last episode in Campaign 2. When I could find the fucking thing. So please bear with me, I've got too many notes, honestly. What's going on here? Magic items, there we go. Right, that is on its way to you now. You can also add that to your inventory. It does require attunement. And there are some other caveats around it.
Like I need to give it my actual soul. Oh god,
yeah.
Awesome.
So yes, as per the episode title, I will just give you exactly how that's spelt as well, but you should be able to add that to your inventory anyway. And I will say at that point, big thumbs up, headphones on. Bodhi's not even paying attention, which is amazing. Can somebody just poke him?
Hey! Oh!
Hello.
You're on mute as well. No, there we go. Very good. Lex, take it away.
Nah, I'm not going to tell him. Lex is looking like bemused and also full of kind of like bewilderment. Oh, fucking hell, that's a big thing to read out. I didn't expect that.
She's setting him a dick.
You're not reading all of that now. Fucking hell.
No, fucking hell.
Thanks,
Well,
Dave.
I'm
going to take that compliment and I'm going to run with it.
I touched it, right? And it was the right thing to do because it was a message for us from Master Alaric.
Oh, good. Well, you didn't die, so that's a real good plus point in the right direction.
What did you touch, Lex?
I touched Master Alaric's ball.
Why would you do that? That's so... He's a statue.
No, the mystical ball, the orb. Fucking
the
hell.
glowing orb. Oh, my bad.
He left me a message. Hang on, let me try and get this right. You know when I was an absolute hero yesterday and I brought this thing into existence?
You haven't brought it up much, to be honest.
Yeah. So, whatever I brought into this world is significant, and I'm talking like next level important. Master Alaric said he felt it. He felt it come into this world, and he knew it is important straight away. He left me a note explaining what it is, what it does, where we need to go, and how we need to get there. So I'm going to have to take some time to read this, but the most important, if not, well, the second most important information it gave me is the Conclave is real, and they are behind this attack. So what we thought was, what we suspected when the first time we were here, the Conclave, the evil wizards, it's a thing. We all know who's leading it. It's obviously Shadowthorn's behind it. The Conclave's real. They attacked the Azure Pillar. We gotta get to the archives and see what's left, I think.
I fear this attack may well be partly as a result of them taking Mayor Nora again. She knew this tower really well. If we can, we will try and save her, but we have to be wary of the fact that she's going to be one hell of an adversary, and very much on their side.
Isn't she... Oh, the grave! The grave! I forgot all about that. Yes.
Do we know she's not dead?
Yeah,
Because
we spoke about it. We the gravesite, then spoke about it, and then we tried to track her down partially. And there was like we knew that she'd gone through Dryad's Gate with someone, don't know where. So yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, didn't we get a hint that she went through More Stacy as well last episode?
You did.
Yeah,
you did.
So, okay. So where's this note, Lex? You said that he left you a note. Where did he leave the note?
It was under this orb, and then I will look at the note. Aside from the stuff about the Orrery, it said it would tell us where we need to go and how we need to get there. What does it say about that?
Nice.
So, if you check Signal, there are 2 more entries in there for you to go and look at. And if you can't bring that up quick enough,
and for once they didn't, he didn't write it in Draconian or something. So
yeah. So
it was magically enchanted, so it had to be a member of the PDA that touched that piece of parchment. But yes,
it reads out like an Inspector Gadget note, and then it self-destructs at the end. The hidden layer of the Void Conclave is nestled within a vast cavern. Its entrance cleverly concealed behind a massive obsidian tapestry depicting swirling shadows and arcane sigils. It's never just it's left at the bottom of the road and turn right past the post office, is it? To reveal the entrance, one must trace a specific pattern of runic symbols in the air while channeling a surge of dark energy. That's where you come in, Aegis. Tapestry then parts silently, granting access to the secret chamber beyond. Entry into the secret hideout requires knowledge of a specific sequence of ancient rituals, and there is recitation. Recitation? You gotta recite some shit.
Recitation.
Of an incantation known only to the initiated by touching a hidden glyph on the floor with a crystal attuned to the void. Again, Aegis, I think you have one of those. The veil of invisibility covering the entrance becomes permeable, allowing passage to those who possess the correct combination of gestures, words, and intentions. I mean, we can't even open doors that are unlocked. We are fucked.
I was about to say, we are so fucked. There's no way. You're right, Jewel. We weren't the ones. We should leave this here.
I mean, the bit that worries me, I think, is that the fact that you are key to this, Aegeus. I mean, links to the dark shadow magic, a crystal attuned to the void. Klein is going to be right behind that door.
Then we fucking kill him.
If he created the magical lock, you've got the magical key because you're his yang, right? His yang.
I don't know what those noises you just made are, but it makes a lot of sense when you said it.
Takami really raises her hand. I understood their reference.
Thank you.
Finally, I'm glad. Takami, thank you. I appreciate that, and you holding our coats apparently because
for one thing, I may be able to help in finding any of the invisible illusions. After that, it is definitely going to be on you to do your magic.
Well, it felt like, from the sounds of it, it could be any caster. But my question is more this.
Oh no, I just mean I'm not a caster, so I'm not doing it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
If you want this to fail, I will happily give it a go.
I mean, look. At this point, I think all options are good. There's no bad options. I'm okay with you giving it a try.
I think the magic going wrong and you growing a tail would probably be consisted of bad. And probably, if I tried, what would happen? Either that, or the world explodes.
Well, the second one sounds way worse than me having a tail. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. I think the real point comes down to this. So he left us this note. He's talked about all this stuff, but where is this magical hidden entrance that we need to find? He didn't say it's in this building. He didn't give us a town or like anything like that. He gave us like
it's going to be here. It's got to be here.
Yeah, a vast cavern. We know there's caves below that we suspected the Conclave were using when they were prevalent the first time round. So I believe it's the caverns and the caves under this tower.
They will have mapped this place out. We need to find the maps in the library. We need to find out which sections we need to look at, and we need to go searching.
Oh, if you guys think it's here, then yeah, let's do that. I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm fully on board.
Edgies, we can't leave. We have no ship, so might as well check. That was not meant to be sassy. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm edgy. We need to.
And I'm edgy. Yes. I understand. We're on the same. We're on the same. Page.
And I'm not edging. Just to be very clear.
I'm glad we made it clear.
That took a turn.
Dave took it to a place that I'm well done, Dave.
Cried.
Danny's proud of you for that one, yeah. You channeled your inner Danny, yeah. There we go.
I think that makes sense. Well, hey, what's Callum? I'm more of like a.
Yes,
I
darling.
like to keep my hands free for like my sword, my bow, my loot, my magic, all the apparently multiple things I carry.
Get to the point, darling.
Staff for you?
Staff.
Here, take it.
Fuck it. Why not?
It's your style.
Feel bad taking over a corpse, to be honest.
Oh no, I took it. It's okay. You took it as a gift from me. You're all good. Your morals are left untouched.
Briefly knowing the guy from like the first time we met him, I think he would not want it to go to waste.
Well, he's certainly not going to be using it anymore. He's there, and a bit over there as well. But yeah. Okay, thank you.
Kevin,
grabs the staff.
Could you help me make the body decent?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to? It looks like a giant jigsaw puzzle right now. Do we want to just?
And just and then just place something over. We best we can do for now.
Rips one of the curtains down.
What about the standing guy in the crystal? Do we want to cover him with a curtain too?
The last time that we touched someone encased in, well, it was ice, we did break them. I'm gonna go with leave them.
Yeah, that's true.
That sounds like a smart plan.
That sounds like a very good idea, darling. Let's not touch things that may potentially break.
Then we want them to stay intact. We can worry about them later.
Can I say that?
I hope they're just in stasis. And I'm going to be an entire optimist about this.
Can Cavan do a little prayer for the dead guy?
Oh, yeah.
What prayer would you like?
Oh, I didn't expect to have to. It's going to be a silent prayer because I don't know what he would say, but it'll just be he'll sort of lay the gavel next to him and do a
Are you trying to
prayer.
do anything? So you weren't trying to do anything in particular, just trying to pray to Paragon in the hopes that makes their way beyond to the happy hunting grounds. Very good. Yes, I will say, because it is a good call out. Cavan does take a moment to just sort of Paragon. I don't know where this poor fucker's going, but make sure he gets there safe. and just holds the gavel of equity and sort of almost just places it on the top of the curtain for a second and then pulls it back.
Does the gavel of equity look like something that could, like if you struck the crystal correctly, like of all the hammers, you would think like of all the hammers that are out there, that the gavel
like
of
a toffee
equity
hammer, you just hit it gently and it just...
Exactly, yeah. I'm like, if there was ever a hammer to try to hit it with, it would be the gavel of equity. Is the one, just a thought.
You want me to hit the old dude? Is that what you're asking, Aegis?
No, I'm just talking out loud. No. I'm just talking out loud. I was thinking about when we do come to trying to get this guy out, whether your hammer might be the one to try and do it with. Was what I was thinking.
I'm happy to try.
Your enthusiasm is always appreciated. You are a hype man and enthusiast that allows us to be ideas men, and Cat, and we really appreciate that.
Very good.
Takami
at this point is just unwrapping the amethyst dragon staff. I get the feeling I'm going to need this. And she just tosses the wrapping around it off, unveiling that solid piece of amethyst with 2 dragons' head carved either side.
I'm going to guess that we're all just looking at her with with each other with a shit just got even realer than real look, because we imagine what the hell we've got to do now.
Batman suit up scene, like close-ups on Van Brace's being.
Kind of hope that we were fucking prepared for all of this already. Not like, let me just get my shit on now.
Well, I remember more like bow come out, sword if someone had dagger, like and
flicking the dagger, spinning it round, catching it,
stack up at the door, almost, military style, like we've practiced so many times now, and stack up at the door, get ready to move downwards through this tower of hell that Matt has laid out in front of us, I imagine.
Anything we find that will be useful, grab it. Keep an eye out on your corners, and good luck, everyone. I think we're looking for the library first.
Communication.
That being said, who was the last person to roll an investigation check?
Me.
I think it might have been... Yes, I think it was. Either way, I will say at this moment, as you scan around, it's almost like, rather than an illusion, there's been a time lock in the room. And Lex, actually, you would feel this, and a vial appears on Master Alaric's desk.
Whoa! Dagger ready. What was that?
I think it was something like locked in time. I think it's for us though. From Master
As
Alaric.
you look, you see this almost curved sort of vial at the top with a very thick cork in the top as well. And there is this dark red, almost light purple, bubbling liquid inside. A symbol, a label then appears almost in arcane runes that hovers there for a moment and then disappears, and it says Magebane Poison.
Oh.
Shit.
And I'm
Add it to your inventory, Lex. Lex, put it in your inventory.
I will put it in my bag.
Use it in the D&D Beyond and slide it into your inventory.
So as Lex, as you pick that up, I've just dropped the details into our team chat, so you can go and view that. And yes, I will say you then stack up against the door, but as you open it and look down the stairs, there's just this empty I say empty staircase. There's a staircase. There may be the odd figure encased in this violet purple crystal again. But essentially you have a clear view and a clear route down, at least to the ground level. And the subterranean level's ready to explore. And that, my friends, is where we are going to close episode 76. Ready for our first in-person session to pick up episode 77. So yes, the end of this week. So this podcast, for anybody listening on the podcast, it is highly likely that while you're listening to this, we are very much fucking up a live session.
Yep.
So enjoy that. But yes, next weekend, or this weekend I should say, the weekend coming, we will not only be playing our next episode of Campaign 2, there are a lot of other things coming up. We will be playing the first episode of a new arc of Orbital Blues. We will be playing a very, very special one-shot of 10 candles, which I will give the title away, is called The Elderwood. There will be some other silliness in between, and of course there will be the next episode of Campaign 2, which you can see this time next week on a Monday, of us sat around a table for once, which means I get to bring the DM screen out, we'll get the chest of dice, we'll get all of the Malt and Magic regalia out, and it's going to be good times. Final thoughts from the crew?
I was going to say, keep an eye out for the socials.
Holy
I'm sure
shit.
that we'll be posting photos of us, over the weekend. So keep an eye out for that lot. But yeah, otherwise, this is phenomenal. So much fun. Really, really excited to be at the Crystalline Isle and at the tower for our live session. I'm psyched.
Absolutely.
Yeah. For once, we got where we needed to be.
A lot of fun.
When we needed to be there.
we kind of had a point where we needed to get there specifically.
Yeah.
Like, I can ad-lib so much when we're online and create shit. When we're in person, I need a bit of a fucking plan.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean you can't bring 20 maps with you?
Very good. Bodes, any final thoughts, my friend?
Nah, dude. Just appreciate the GMing tonight. I thought you were on point, Matt. I thought Dave was great as Jewel. I thought,
Roleplay led me forward.
Honestly, highlight of maybe like the last 3 months. Danny fucking doing that monologue and prepping something and
Eat the DM.
DM worthy, I would say.
Taking his first steps into the DM's seat. I think that's been a fantastic thing to watch. And yeah,
I have small pockets of creativity that I could not stretch out for long periods of time.
That's fair. Well, give it time.
So we're going to give you 4 months to take those small pockets and form them into a plan.
Yeah, exactly. But no, just super appreciate it. I'm buzzing to see you all in person, and for the fans,
Absolutely.
It's going to be a belter, dude. We have lots of things planned. We're recording all weekend, and we look forward to bringing you guys lots of sick content to enjoy. And if it all goes well, we'll maybe do it a couple more times.
Definitely.
100%. If we don't kill each other, you'll see us in the future.
Yeah.
And if we're too pissed, we'll just bin all the videos and just turn them into blooper reels instead.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not that we can condone over drinking or drinking heavily, but expect us to be lubricated is the term I will use. And with that being said,
we'll be
we
pissed
are going to
and lubed,
close.
is what Matt's saying.
I was hoping to beat that comment, but I was never going to. Anyway, yes, this has been episode 76 of Malt and Magic Campaign 2, titled The Orrery of Ardahlia. Lex now has the details of what that is. Maybe we'll discover that next week. But until then, stay safe. We love you all, and we will see you next time.